Welcome to yet another beautiful space on our campus. This is part of the prayer garden. There are plenty of places from St. John's Chapel to the prayer garden to the seawall cross for you to come and be safely distant from others and closely connected with God. We encourage that. And we encourage your prayers and patience in these days of concern and caution. With our area opening up more, the pastoral, administrative, and lay leadership of Blaine Memorial want to use this time in today's video to answer some of the questions that we've been asked most frequently. Your primary question seems to be, when will we be able to worship in person and gather in person on Blaine's campus again? I wish I had a date for you. I do not. I can tell you that we will not have in-person worship services until our live stream is up and running. The worship services so far have been pre-recorded. We've now entered into a contract that will allow us to go into live streaming, truly presenting worship in the exact time it is happening via the internet. To do so, we have to get equipment in and installed and people trained to use it, and that will take at least a month. What I know is we cannot have in-person worship until we have live stream in place, because we need to be able to share with those who should not be in-person worship the same opportunity to worship God as the rest of us would have. Live streaming will give us that option. And that leads me to another question on people's minds. Why is it that we can go into stores and not into church? The state epidemiologist, Dr. Linda Bell, South Carolina's leading disease expert, has said there's a great difference between walking past somebody in a store, hopefully with both of you wearing masks, quickly passing one another and not interacting, and with sitting in the same space for an extended period of time with those who are close by and perhaps singing and doing other things that project their voices. She said the difference is between what can keep people safe and what can harm others. The fact is, singing out would project the virus more than talking. The fact is, being in worship setting would put us in stationary places. The fact is, worshiping in person right now would be a threat to many. We have 5,393 people in our Realm database. Not surprisingly, fully 1/3 of those have not given us their birth year. But of the 2/3 that have, 1,466, or 27% of that population, is 60 years of age or older. Certainly, that percentage rises when we get the birth year for the 1,800 people we're missing. Many of the people who are part of our church family are in the age group that is most vulnerable to this disease. And many of them would struggle with whether to attend in person or not if that was an option. And that leads to yet another frequently asked question. What will Sunday mornings be like when we're back together? The short answer for now is not what we remember. Your pastors, staff, and lay leadership have spent time thinking about many models. We've done research and we've learned from other churches as well. And everybody agrees that it is a real challenge to meet the health recommendations for public worship settings. The fact is, it's not just churches that are struggling with this. Professional sports, including those who are where the sports are held in outdoor venues, big businesses have yet to figure out how to do this with fans in place. They are slowly moving toward returning to live sports with no fans whatsoever, despite the enormous loss of revenue. And if they can't figure it out, it's not surprising that churches and concert venues and others are trying hard, but have yet to solve that riddle. And the truth is, you and I would not be happy registering our intended presence for worship, solemnly entering into worship spaces, wearing masks, not singing out, being distant from one another. No one would enjoy sending someone home or being sent away because of capacity issues. Some would be tempted to disregard the protocols that we establish, and as a result would put people in uncomfortable and compromising situations. We may eventually have to move in that direction and in some of those directions, but not yet. Not when what we are doing is working well. Our plan is to give this more time and to continue to evaluate what is best. So as much as it hurts us to say this, we have to say it's still time to be patient and cautious. Your pastors and worship leaders will be doing more in the coming weeks to make the services more like we remember them. We will be safely distanced, but in the spaces that mean so much to each of us. We know that you will continue to be faithful in worshiping, giving, and caring for one another. Your pastors, staff, and leadership will continue to provide online worship services and other ways to digitally connect and meet, the ways we've become accustomed to and that have been very helpful in these unusual days. I want you to know that it means the world to us to get your handwritten notes and emails and texts, the things that you've been saying to encourage us in what we're attempting to do and how we are gathering and connecting over the internet. I hope you know that we miss you. You've made it clear to us that you miss us. We're grateful for that. There are 3 people we will miss painfully in the coming months. The Cantwell family, Walter and Christiana and Caleb, as you know, will be moving to Lyman, South Carolina sometime this summer. And so that leads me to one more question to think about today. Many of you have wondered, will you get to see the Cantwells before they move? You will have that opportunity somehow. Right now, what we know for sure is we will offer a drive-by goodbye, a way for you to drive through campus, remain in your vehicles. If you have a gift or card to leave, to drop those off, and to wave at or blow kisses toward the Cantwell family, showing them your love and appreciation. If we can do more than that, we will. What we will do for them is what we will do for one another, the best we can do. We will continue to be our best for God as a church, as a family of faith. Thank you for being the best church that you can be. It is my great gift and honor to be one of your pastors. God bless you all.